Hey everyone, Temporal here, and for this session we are reviewing a Diamond Ana. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do feel free to like and subscribe, that helps me out. Or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below and see what my rates look like, good stuff like that.
Why did you abandon the assassins?
So let's see what we've got here for our Ana.
Because it was necessary.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend
I immediately take
objective
damage,
A.
which you're not in position to heal. Unfortunate. You should have been here from the get-go, but that's pretty minor.
In the fight.
Hog Rhine tank line with Hanzo, Tracer DPS, and Briggs as your support. Okay.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Do you have any feeling for whether you have control of this flank or not? Hint, you don't. This wasn't really a safe place to be healing from. You could be healing from here. You could be rotating up tight with your team because you have a Reinhardt and a Briggs. You didn't get any feel for whether this was a corridor you actually controlled, though. That's dangerous. There's the nade, perfect. There's that Zarya that's been bugging you. You're just gonna have to hard rotate left. Yeah, not the end of the world. So let's go back and talk about this rotation, because this was kind of dangerous in the first place.
Get back in the fight.
Defend objective A.
So you have a Briggs and you have a Reinhardt, and you can see that most of the opposing team is ahead of you like this. I would say that you want to rotate up with this. You have to have some feel for, it's unfortunate that bubble got spent like that, but you have to have some feel for whether your Rhine's going to push this back or not, but it's likely that you want to rotate up with your team here rather than fall behind. So let's see a bit more what plays out. Your Rhine does drift right. I see how that baits you.
Just a scratch. You'll be fine.
We now know that there's a Zarya there. I'd prefer that you keep up with this rotation a little bit more, though, especially as their Reinhardt drifts there. I'd prefer that you're already in a situation to get here, because now you're going to have to walk across this with no protection. Your Briggs won't be able to protect you. You're too far behind her. Your Rhine won't be able to protect you. On this type of thing, if your Rhine isn't just pushing straight in to fight them like this, you want to keep up with the rotation. But not a big deal. You're just lucky that they can't aim. And with how this fight has oriented, you want to be, sliding up to here to do your work. You've got a thing of your Hogs controlling that. You want to be slid up here so that you can contribute the help without being in danger. You can slip back here to throw your nades, etc. Go here. You hit that nade. And you're getting melted by this Zarya. Did your Hog just give up any sort of dream of control over here? No, the Zarya came from here. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of why we wanted you slid up to here. You can drop the nade through here, but you want to slide up to here so that you can reorient in a safer position. That's okay. You do hit the sleep, and that's nice, I think. I think you hit the sleep? Maybe I'm crazy. And you did have your nade back right there, so that's unfortunate. You could have naded into the wall to help you there, and since you had 2 HP, would have been worth. But that's okay.
It'll take more than that to keep me out of the fight.
Why is that fire strike just hanging? Okay. That was weird.
Get back in the fight.
I'm not hearing any I need healing or anything like that, and that's worth doing. I would like you to do that. I would like you to ask Briggs to spend a healing pack on you here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Unfortunate, you hit the nade on that rather than being a little to the left. And you didn't go for a sleep dart there? I'm a little surprised. There's that hanging fire strike. Slow it down. You take this. You do want to ask your Briggs for health back here. You're going to nano this because you think that it's worth it. He's missing a fair amount of health. He's got a Rein he can swing at. Yeah, I've got no issue with the nano.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And then you're here. You unfortunately hit that. I'm surprised you don't go for a sleep to stop his follow-up, though. On their team is... No, you can spend sleep here. You've still got your Briggs right with you. I know it's a shame you didn't get value out of your nade there, but this is still worth spending sleep on to minimize his follow-up. Mei minimizes the follow-up. That's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with that nade. Wasn't who you wanted to hit, but conceptually it was a reasonable nade. You're gonna have to go get the mini though. Yep. Rein robbed you, that's unfortunate. Fine. So this nade gets a little more... You sort of split the difference here, and what I mean by that is you couldn't decide if you wanted the nade to hurt him and heal you, you needed to be closer. But your Rein is going to win this fight, right? So you don't really need to be in this. In his team, it's likely that this guy's team is more over here. So unless you're trying to reset, which is valid at this point, you wanted to back up and heal more from here, or you actually wanted to get close enough for the nade to do both, purple him and heal you. You slept him, and then I think you walked close enough to thinking, hey, I'm going to hit a nade, but that nade needed to be in the ground. You still could have actually probably gotten all three of you, but your priority was to get two of you, with you being one of them. If you were going to walk in close like that. Again, if you weren't going to walk in close, that Rein was never going to get you if you played over here. So, just a judgment thing. Well, I say never going to get you, and he wasn't, because he wasn't going to hit a fire strike on you at a greater distance because you'd react to it. But that's okay. So far, this has mostly been about you adjusting your positioning as the fight evolves, sort of a mobile positioning thing. You're past the level where it's like, oh, this is the right place to stand. This is the right place to stand. And you're more at the level where it's okay, the fight is shifting, and the fight is shifting pretty constantly, and you need to be evaluating not where you are now, because that leaves you stuck like, oh shoot, I now can't get across, it's too dangerous, and you more need to be evaluating how the fight is going to evolve, you think, and you need to be going, okay, how do I adjust my positioning so I'm not in trouble 3 seconds from now as everyone is moving? Which is the same thing that happened over here, etc. Unless you... That fire strike!
I will keep you healed. I'm too old to group up at my...
So clearly that's not there, it's just a replay bug, but it's a weird one. Okay, that's a fine nade. I'm glad you held your nano. It would have been too late into the whole hog. You can nano him here though, yep. So, you'll get better at that. You had plenty of time. Because he effectively tried to shatter from up here, he actually bought you extra time to close this angle. And that was the thing to do. If you close this angle, his shatter's going to get interrupted, but janky shatters, etc., and you'll be fine. And even if somehow he does get you around the corner, it's going to take him a while to get to you. So your reaction time was just a little slow there. That's all that happened.
Hello.
Enemies over there. Sorry about that.
Get me.
A captured. Escort the payload.
Let's keep it moving.
It's fine. You can drift a little ahead of your cart like you are to heal. That's good.
You're going to be okay. have your back.
Taking heavy fire. Get behind me.
Огонь по готовности.
Good. Angle out, angle out. Yep. And just leave. This is over. Don't waste your sleep like that. That's like telling them that if they have mobile heroes, they can come after you. They don't, but it's bad habit. Like, even if you hit that sleep, no one's gonna follow up on it ever.
Get back in the fight.
You're over here.
It's time.
You can peek and sleep that. Okay. I know he'd started his lock a little bit on you, but there was room to peek and sleep that as long as it was an immediate thing. And you needed to put some pressure into him before you could realistically do anything to your team. Whether that pressure was hit him with a sleep, whether that pressure was peek, hit him with a shot, then unpeak, like, you were not going to be able to meaningfully contribute to that fight until you kept him honest.
Group up at my position. It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Don't push up. You can heal from here. Don't push up. Your team isn't here yet. Now your team is here.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Play from the left side. You don't need to be in the open like this. Right idea. Okay, I can live with this. Yeah, you can do that, sleep dart. Good nade.
Watching your back.
Yeah, so the problem here is you took the first shot and you didn't immediately move. It's okay, he hit 2 shots on you. Those were 2 good shots, and you're not, like, super far from cover here. So, like, that's not terrible or anything, but you, if you look at you, let's watch this.
This will help.
Slow it down a little. We don't need to slow it down more yet. There's our McCree. McCree walks out, is looking right at you, and hits his first shot, which is annoying. And I'm slowing this down all the way. And you don't even move. And I know, his rate of fire isn't slow or anything, but he walks out, he's looking at you, he takes 2 shots and gets you on both of them. You don't have any movement when he looks at you, you don't have any movement after he hits the first shot. So that's all I'm going to critique there. Your positioning was perfectly reasonable here. It's just a being aware of the threat, being aware of where opponents that can be dangerous to you are looking, being aware that you took damage, etc. Hey guys, yeah, no, I'm doing streams. I'm doing it on the YouTube for now. I think that's where I'm gonna stick. Good to have you here. Okay, I guess you can do this. You really want to be dragging your cart forward because your team is in this and your team is winning this, so you don't want to be on top of your cart. You want to be a little in front of the cart where you're still counting as touching the cart, but you have a better angle and can drag the cart forward. And as the cart gets more forward, you can get on top of the cart. You just want to do anything you can to increase the amount of time you're going to be able to contribute to this fight. You might even step forward and throw a nade and then step back, like, and, you know, not be pushing the cart while you throw the nade.
Speed boost. Yeah, time to heal up.
So this is fine. You could rotate up to here. That would be fine too. You actually got a near team wipe there. You eliminated 5 of them, so you do potentially have a window to take I win positioning like this. As opposed to going, hey, do I play here? Do I play here where they see me right when they walk out of spawn, etc. This isn't bad positioning, but you actually got an opening to take pretty abusive positioning if you want it.
You're going to be okay.
Is approaching its destination.
It's time.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't even try for a sleep there, that you instead went for the nade, but that's okay. This is over. You can farm ult charge off and make sure you get out. Leave, leave. Okay. No, I've probably got, I don't know, a dozen streams up, maybe a little less.
Oh, you hear that?
It's probably within the last week or so thing, but
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
okay. You already lost someone there, Valking. This should just be a reset, but that's okay. Yeah, it's probably more than a dozen.
You're powered up. Get in there. You're going to be okay.
I don't really like how much you poured into what I considered a losing fight. So if we look at this fight opens.
Oh, you hear that? Patched up.
It's just a scratch. You'll be fine.
Okay, we didn't get great Mei value out of this wall, right? We didn't get anything great here. They just popped Valk. We just lost someone. And they're shattering. All we're spending is whole hog. We don't need to spend more than this. We got Valk out of them. We got Shatter out of them. We didn't get a good initiation with our Mei wall. Like, we don't want to nano into this. Why would we nano into this? Just leave. Just try and farm some ult charge and reset. Like, you'll barely touch again, but you should be able to touch again, especially if your hog comes back as ball or something like this. Like, make this quick and get out.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Yeah, now you commit this nano and it's over.
Seconds remaining.
Do you delete these after the stream or unlist them? I wanted to watch the ball one. No, I don't delete or unlist them. It should be in my library there. Sometimes streams, I find, will take a little bit to show up. Like, sometimes they'll show up in your feed, but if you go to my channel, you won't see them show up for a couple hours. I don't know why YouTube does it that way, but eventually they will be there. I did a ball one a couple days ago, but I think I recorded that one off stream just because of what bandwidth use was like in the office at the time, etc. Sometimes I'm uploading videos, sometimes I'm doing streams. You get higher quality long-term videos if you upload them as videos. You get, immediate people that you can interact with as you do streams. So I'm still doing a little bit of both. But there should be a ball one. I think I did a 3900 ball 2-3 days ago. That's probably what you're looking for.
You're going to be okay.
And at this point, this is over. Now you don't get another push. So you have to make the best you can of this situation. Which, you're done. Yeah, just a misjudgment in whether to continue taking that fight or not. You should have been shouting reset, reset, feed on cart.
10 seconds remaining.
Science will reveal the
You go Moira for the speed, but Lucio decided to wait for people rather than touch. That was a mistake. No, you do touch again. Okay. So, little bit of poor judgment on what to do in that last fight, in my opinion. Before that, it's mostly been okay. This is mostly a case of understanding positioning as Ana. Your nano usage has been good. Your nades have been fine. You've done a couple things where I went, hey, really? You're using it's okay to throw a nade at a Rein that lands a pin, etc., but you would prefer to stop the pin with a sleep dart most of the time. And there's a couple of those where you've instead chosen the nade route. But the big thing is going to be sort of understanding the positioning on the move. Your positioning has to not just make sense right now, but your positioning has to make sense 3 seconds from now. You have to be able to predict how the fight is going to evolve, and you have to put yourself in situations where you don't then have to rotate across the opening. You don't then get hit by a Reinhammer that you shouldn't, etc. We saw that the choke. We saw that up over there, which is in front of you right now. We saw a couple of those things.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Yep.
Defend objective A.
I'm surprised you didn't hit that shot. Like, you were late to even try that shot.
We're going.
Okay. That nade didn't get value, but it was a good idea. Good. And you're just giving this up, which I can live with. Your team wasn't going to get back into that.
Objective lost.
Disappointing that she's not setting up a TP to high ground instead of that TP, but hey. This is fine.
Get back in the fight. This will help.
I get it. I think you knew that you were going to have a better nade over here in a second than the nade that you had here. I think you knew that, and I think you rushed the trigger a bit, but that's okay. So they are softer than your team is. If you see a moment to nano, you can win this fight with it.
You're powered up.
There you
Get
go.
in there.
And this is better. You're predicting that the fight is going to push forward, and you adjust your positioning. This is what I'm talking about, where you predict that your team, hey, we're going to go in to win this, and you adjust your positioning for where the fight is going to be 2 seconds from now.
Go.
You just need to be able to do the same thing when you're on offense.
Get back in the fight.
That's too long scoped, yep. I'm again a little surprised that we didn't, as they were coming through, get an 8 on this clump, but that's not a huge deal, just I'm a little surprised. Kind of in the open there.
My ultimate is charged.
Could readjust. I don't think you need to nade. Let me think about that. So you can't damage boost dragons anymore. If you can't damage boost dragons anymore, do you need to nade a Transcendence when your team is getting dragoned in case they take additional damage? I don't think you do. I think your Reinhardt was always going to be okay. I think that's excessive. Someone could check me on that, though. I probably need to look on that before I commit to that comment. Like, obviously, if it, was Dragon Strike plus some big huge thing like a Discord and a Mercy Boost Dynamite or something like that, yes, of course, absolutely throw the nade in there, but I didn't see anything particularly scary in there to go with it. It was more for the anti on the right. Let me take a look at it. Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's fair. I just don't have any belief that we're going to get that Rhine right now, but you're right, that's fair. You have to find a nade or a sleep to keep your team in this. That's a nade and a nano. That'll work. Your prior positioning is fine. You've got your Zen here.
you heal.
Reality bends to my will. Sterben nicht.
Okay.
This will only hurt for a minute. هيكون مؤلم.
No, this is gone.
Watching your back.
You're not getting out anymore. Just reset.
The payload has reached
I say as you get out. That's fine.
It's time.
Being enough.
You did not need that nade on Ryan. Now you might need the nade, but
You're powered up. Get in there. This is going to hurt.
so again, that's a try to sleep him situation. You're potentially not going to get the sleep off there, but it's the sort of thing where that's a hey, the sleep is the play, not the nade in that situation with the Reinhardt. You've had that on a couple charges, and you've had that on a couple Earth Shatters.
the payload is approaching its destination.
Yeah, let's pick it up.
And this is just dead time, and you can't both finish the map, so this is the end of it.
Feel the healing beat.
Okay. So the bigger thing to help you is going to be on your offense specifically. I do want you to have a little more awareness of where the fight is going to take place and being transitioning to those locations. Like understand, hey, even if this is good positioning, it won't be good positioning in 2 seconds and 3 seconds. I need to be moving to a place. I need to understand where my next positioning is and will I be able to get to my next positioning, etc. That's going to be the bigger thing for helping your Ana. Your nanos are good. I do like your nanos a lot. But the other thing that we're going to get into is you do have some decision stuff specifically around your sleep dart. There were a couple charges. There was that shatter there. There's a couple others where it's like, hey, you're potentially throwing nade in situations where you could throw sleep, or you're just not getting the best sleep value use. So I'm not saying, oh, your sleep darts aren't accurate enough. I don't care. You'll get practice. You'll get more at those. Your sleep darts are fine. I'm saying there's situations where you're not deciding to use your sleep dart where it's the right thing. There's some room to be polishing your sleep dart. I gave a couple throughout, but the bigger thing for you and what I'd start with is, okay, understand where the fight is going to take place, and am I going to be in the right place when the fight takes when the fight actually happens, or as the fight evolves and as the fight moves around a bit, am I maintaining good places? You like a chess player, you need to be thinking not 3 moves ahead, but 3 seconds ahead, 2 seconds ahead. Am I going to be hung out to dry because of where I am, because of how this fight is likely to evolve, etc.? Okay. If anyone has questions, feel free to throw them up in chat now. Otherwise, I'm going to do my little outro. Where was I? Yes. So if you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe. That definitely helps me out. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below. And in there, you can see what my rates look like, talk to other people who are looking for getting coaching, have discussions about how well or poorly designed heroes are, really whatever you want to do that's Overwatch related and some non-Overwatch life advice type related stuff. Cool. Do I see anything in chat? I do not. So that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.